team.
Hey there, this is Malorian, and this is the Orc Tactical Team, and what we're going to be talking about today is why OnceBitten is bad at Warhammer. You know, we've all seen the guy's battle reports. He's been along for a long time, but I think it's about time we cover, and it's the elephant in the room, why is OnceBitten so bad at Warhammer? Okay, that's not what this video is all about. It's just a farce, just to pull you in, and that's really what this video is all about, which is all about more to people who have their own YouTube channels, and also to people wondering what's been going on with the Orc Tactical teams lately, and that's the whole idea of how you can really get your videos noticed. And it's really a thing where you don't normally see it a lot for the Warhammer stuff right now because we're such a small niche. Right now, I mean, I get views not because I make good content necessarily, but just because I've been here for a long time. I mean, I keep on saying it over and over again, there's a lot of other people that make a lot better reports than me, and so far I'm only lucky to keep all the viewers I do just because I've been here a long time. But in other areas, say like in the people that cover video games, or that you see it really in the people that cover like the Vines and stuff like that, they really have a saturated market, and if they want people to watch their videos, they have to do everything they can to draw people in. So we're going to be talking about some of those tricks and tips now. So again, if you have your own channel and you want to try and get some more views for your videos, this will be the one for you, and as well I should explain why I'm kind of playing around with this stuff with my Orc Tactical teams, and we'll talk about that at the very end. So the first thing to talk about is probably the title. The title has to be something that really grabs the person in. I mean, really, a lot of times they're just scanning down and they'll see all these different videos. You know, they've done their search, and here comes everything. And it's all the way down. And if it's not something that automatically grabs you in, well, you're just going to keep on going down to the thing that you do have. One of the best tips I did get from OnceBitten when I was over at his place is he said, man, for your Orc Tactical teams, you have to reduce that name. Because a lot of times I'd say Orc Tactical Team, number, title. However, when it comes to the actual thumbnail at the side there, you know, it says Orc Tactical Team, and then the actual title would get cut off. So really, unless you clicked every single one, you're not going to see it. And so if you did a search for, let's say, trying to find dwarf tactics or something like this, you would do your search, all the stuff comes down, or you might see it as a suggestion on the right side, and if your title's too long, well, you're not seeing it. You know, you just see that very first part. Or even if it was to show the whole title, if it's something that's not really grabbing your attention, again, you're just going to go to something else. I think, again, one of the things we can kind of point out is that it is really nice, say, for what the Sustainable Center is doing, where he has a different title for each one, so it really kind of puts some interest to it. I think there is a negative to that, where it is on the side, where, again, if you're looking for Bretonnian reports and all you can really see the title is all the cannons or something like that, they won't really know what's going on, and they'll click on a different video. So you really need something there that is going to grab the attention. The next thing is you need it to come up actually at all. You have to make sure that you have the right words in there, that they're spelt correctly, and that you take the time to fill in your tags at the bottom with all the possible words that you think that they might be searching for. And this can be a huge reason why your video might or might not be found. Let's say that you say it's going to be another fantasy battle report. For some reason, you misspell fantasy. So when people are trying to look for fantasy, well, they don't find your stuff. Or maybe people actually search for something else. Maybe, like for me, before, I'd make one word of my tag being battle report. Well, what if they're just looking for report or battle? You have to break all those things up. And it's a very tedious part of the process, but one of the best things you can do is that if you actually go to your preferences, you can set it up so that certain tags go there all the time. So unfortunately for me, with all the different videos I do, there's not a lot of stuff that actually can go to them all. But if you're a person where, you know, all the time, all you do is battle reports, well, that's great. One of the things that's on the tag, your name. It can be Warhammer. You can have fantasy. You can have battle. You can have report. You can put in all the different type of armies you might play type thing. And then you get into whole sort of ethics where you can be really throwing in whatever tags you want. I mean, maybe I just want to draw people in, even if they're not really looking for my stuff. So, I mean, first there's all the tags, like you can put in awesome and epic and all this stuff. But then maybe for all my orcs and goblin stuff, I'm going to put in chaos dwarves, just because I want people who are doing a search to still come up with my stuff. You know, that's a little bit shady, but it's something that's really possible for you to do. Going along with this, something of course too, is the actual picture that you have for your actual video. So when you put up your video, you have the 3 different pictures that come up there, and you have to usually pick the one that looks the best to kind of go up there. Now, when people go the extra mile, they'll actually make a separate thumbnail picture to go up and be that. So that's where you can see things for, say, like Long Island Wargaming, where they make sure to have like the 2 faces looking at each other and all this. And so, I mean, at a glance, you can just see that picture and know, oh, okay, that's an ogre report, or this is a Skaven report, and it's really, really obvious. If you look at some of the other ones, it might be like, oh, that's the one with the boobs, and that's what, you know, so it grabs people's attention. And again, it's a whole thing of how shady you want to be, because there's no reason why that picture actually needs to be in the battle report. You can pull that picture from somewhere else. So, I mean, I can put up this one here and Photoshop up a picture of, you know, OnceBitten throwing up or whatever, right? And then just like, oh, there you go. And it can be whatever. So again, you have that whole thing of how shady you want to be, because eventually if you really do keep on lying and, you know, putting up pictures of boobs and you don't deliver, well, people are going to stop following your stuff when they kind of when they catch on to this. The next thing too is, of course, with your actual topics and what you're covering about, and you want to make sure it's something that people care about. One of the biggest problems I was starting to find with my org tactical teams is that I've already kind of covered a lot of the big things, and so I was starting to cover a lot of little corner case stuff. And I guess just to kind of touch on some of the reasons why I'm trying to focus on this now is that my battle reports would get fairly good views, and I'd be pretty happy with it, but my org tactical teams were only getting around, say, 20 to 30% the views that my battle reports were. So I kind of decided, well, let's start focusing on these things that I can do to make them more popular. And it's not even just a thing about getting views, because here's the thing as well, where just like I said with the picture, if you keep on lying, they're not going to come back. The same thing comes up with the topic. So if you notice, I've tried to do some real controversial ones that really grab you and pull you in, and you want to tell your buddy, and you want to post it on the forum like, hey, check this out. What do you think about this? Because those are the ones that really pull people in. Now, the biggest thing here, like I was saying, is you still need that good, solid center bit of truth. If I just come on here and I talk about how Skaven have the worst infantry in the game and you shouldn't be running them as an infantry army, well, people will eventually, they might at first be like, oh man, check this out, this guy is such an idiot, and after a while they'll just stop following you. There was another channel, I'm not going to list it because it's a negative stuff, but I used to always follow stuff because he was really funny and he was doing all these tactical reports, but all of his tactical advice was just all wrong. So at first I was like, haha, look at this guy, he's so stupid. And then it's like, why am I even watching this? I'm just wasting my time. So you do have to base it around truth. So in examples of what I've been doing, I mean, the whole thing of wood elves will beat you. Well, will they always beat you? Well, no. You know, of course, there's so many different factors. I can't just guarantee you that any old Wood Elf player is going to beat you. But the grain of truth there is just about how they kind of break the game and do their own thing to really not break the game, but break the meta, and will pick you apart. And with equal skill and blah, blah, they actually have a really good advantage. So, again, it's a real, you know, debatable thing that people are going to jump in there, but there's that strong, solid core of truth that really holds it together. Or we had this last one here where I kind of pushed it a little bit more, and I did the whole thing about how Wood Elf players suck at the game. And again, I mean, you cannot apply that to everyone. That's just absolutely false. However, there's that center solid bit of truth that anybody that really focuses on just one army, that really focuses on just one small aspect of the game, or even just kind of like a janky loophole of the game, well, they just don't even really have as good as an understanding of the game as a whole as someone else who plays the more regular armies who use all the rules from the rule book, right? They're going to be the stronger player overall with a better understanding. So again, that real center core that you have to stick to. Past that, it's the whole thing where you have to keep it interesting. Make sure you get in there and you're going to have well presented, well spoken, have some energy behind it. But otherwise, that's really it. So there you go. That's why OnceBitten's bad at the game, I guess. And we'll catch you later. So I guess one of the last things I want to put here is, not all my orc tactical teams now will just be big controversy, blah, 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 blah. But know that I will be trying to push now into these other areas of these little bit controversial topics and just put it out there. If nothing else, just to get people talking. And I mean, hey, we're all playing this game. We can't just ignore certain aspects of it, and we can't just not talk about things, otherwise the game will get boring. So let's talk about it, let's have some fun, and we'll catch you later. Bye.